Hey guys, Bales. I'm looking at NBA player models and wanted to do a tutorial on our min and max exposure, which we've had out on the live site for a couple weeks and explained it before, but really just want to show you how I'm using this just because I think it's a really powerful feature that we have within player models to help you get players in the proper number of lineups. So if you're creating um, even 10 lineups or something that you would prefer not to do by hand, you can do it pretty easily with our player liking. So you can just manually go through and like the players that you want to use in lineups. You can sort by positions. We're on FanDuel here. But what I've been doing, especially for a tournament like the Millionaire Maker, is just going through in NFL, obviously, but going through and just setting exposure of where I want guys to be, and as long as it's not overly restrictive, like I can't say I want Westbrook between 20 and 21 percent of lineups and be really restrictive with a bunch of players like that where you can't even generate lineups. But if I do something like uh, Westbrook between 30 and 40, where I'm comfortable anywhere between there, and I want um, oh, Lowry between 10 and 15, and this doesn't need to add up to 100. We fill in the blanks and Mac in at least 30, and we don't need a max. We can do that with a bunch of positions. I won't go through every one, but you can set a max where if you want to have just a small amount of exposure, say you're creating 100 Millionaire Maker lineups or 100 NBA lineups, and you say I don't need to have Avery Bradley in any lineups, but I definitely don't want him in more than 10%. You can do that. And so I set a bunch of these with the players who I like, and then when we go to generate lineups, you can do a bunch more, but when we go to generate multiple lineups, we can set some. We'll do 50 lineups, and we'll do a max exposure of 60%, so no player can be in more than 60%, and generate those lineups. And then we'll get as close as possible. So you can see we just generated 50 lineups, 113 total exposures. So we wanted Kilpatrick in at least 40s and 42, Westbrook between 30 and 40, he's in 34. Kawhi Leonard between 20 and 30, he's in 30, and Mac in a minimum of 30, and he's in 30. So it'll get very close, and you can do you can add more of those, and if you can change it right in here within the multi-lineup builder. So you could say actually want Harden in at least 50. Click save, regenerate, and we'll give you 50 new lineups that will have. So now Harden is in 56, and we still match the other desired exposures. So you can go through and manually like the lineups that you want to use. You can mark the ones you don't, click save lineups, and you'll also be able to see your exposure on the lineups page when those save. So we have the lineups rate here. There are 48, probably because actually I manually unliked two of them. You can see all of the exposures again. You can actually edit individual lineups now from here. So this is how I'm using the in conjunction with the other features like player pool. This is how I'm using models to create a bunch of lineups that I'm entering into small dollar tournaments. Create a bunch of lineups that I feel really comfortable in, that are have the proper amount of exposure to each player, and just overall the players who I want to and feel comfortable using in a given week.